18 black singers you didn't know were related. Shocking. Stop scrolling, because your favorite playlist is actually a giant family reunion. Think Hollywood is just about luck. Think again. We're stripping away the glitz to reveal the secret bloodlines of 18 icons you never knew were related. From the R&B throne of Brandy to the lyrical kingdom of Kendrick Lamar, talent isn't just practiced in these families, it's a genetic inheritance. We're diving into the hidden DNA of greatness to show you how royalty truly breeds royalty. Think you know who's related? You're probably wrong. Watch until the end to discover the most shocking connection of them all. And don't forget to subscribe to Black Excellence Legends for the truth behind the stars. Brandy, Ray J, and Snoop Dogg. The entertainment landscape is often perceived as a collection of individual success stories, but the connection between Brandy, Ray J, and Snoop Dogg reveals a formidable genetic blueprint for superstardom. This trio doesn't just share the limelight, they share a first-cousin bloodline that bridges the gap between smooth R&B, harmonies, and gritty West Coast rap. Their collective influence has shaped the sonic architecture of the last 3 decades, proving that in their family, creativity isn't an option. It's an inheritance. Brandy Norwood, often hailed as the vocal Bible, set the gold standard for R&B in the 1990s. Her self-titled debut album was a cultural phenomenon, but it was her sophomore effort, Never Say Never, that catapulted her into the stratosphere. Featuring the 13-week Billboard chart topper, The Boy Is Mine, the album earned her a Grammy and moved over 16 million units globally. Brandy's ability to layer complex vocal arrangements became her signature, influenced by her church upbringing and a natural technical precision that few can replicate. Beyond music, she broke barriers as the first black woman to play Cinderella on screen, a production that drew 60 million viewers in 1997. Her younger brother Ray J followed a parallel path that eventually diverged into entrepreneurship and reality television. While often overshadowed by his sister's vocal prowess, Ray J secured his own musical legacy with the 2005 hit One Wish, which peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. However, his true impact lies in his hustle. From starring in For the Love of Ray J to founding Raycon Global, an electronics company that reportedly generates over $100 million in annual sales, he redefined what it means to be a modern multi-hyphenate. The connective tissue to hip-hop royalty comes through their cousin Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Brodus Jr. Snoop is the embodiment of West Coast G-Funk. Since his 1993 debut Doggy Style, which sold 800,000 copies in its first week alone, he has remained a permanent fixture in global pop culture. Snoop's laid-back delivery and dog-father persona provide a sharp rhythmic contrast to the Norwood siblings' melodic styles. Despite their different genres, the mutual respect is evident. Snoop has often spoken about his pride in his cousin's achievements, occasionally collaborating with Ray J on tracks like Celebration. Together, this family represents a trifecta of talent: the voice, the hustle, and the flow. Lenny Kravitz and Al Roker. The connection between Lenny Kravitz and Al Roker serves as one of the most fascinating 6 degrees of separation stories in American media history. On the surface, they occupy polar opposite ends of the cultural spectrum. One is a global sex symbol and rock virtuoso, known for leather trousers and searing guitar solos, while the other is the genial, bespectacled face of morning television who has guided millions through rain and shine for decades. Despite these stylistic disparities, the two are second cousins, bound by a prestigious family lineage that played a pivotal role in desegregating American airwaves. The bridge between these two icons was the late Roxy Roker, Lenny's mother and Al's first cousin. Roxy was a trailblazing actress who portrayed Helen Willis on the landmark sitcom The Jeffersons. Her role was revolutionary. She was one half of the first interracial couple ever featured on primetime television, a movie that challenged societal norms during the 1970s. This spirit of breaking barriers clearly skipped no one in the family. Lenny Kravitz inherited that artistic defiance, blending rock, soul, and funk to secure 4 consecutive Grammy Awards for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance from 1999 to 2002, a record that remains unbroken. With over 40 million albums sold worldwide, Lenny's legacy is built on the same charisma that his mother brought to the screen. On the other side of this family tree, Al Roker transformed the role of a weather forecaster into that of a beloved national institution. Since joining NBC's Today Show in 1996, Roker has become a household fixture, earning 14 Emmy Awards and even setting a Guinness World Record for the longest uninterrupted live weather broadcast, 34 hours. Beyond his meteorological expertise, Al is a prolific author and a survivor who has publicly shared his health journeys, mirroring the authenticity found in Lenny's raw, honest songwriting. When the two appear together, the chemistry is undeniable. They often joke about their Roker roots at family reunions, acknowledging that whether it is through a chart-topping anthem like "Are You Gonna Go My Way" or a cheery "Good Morning America," the family business is ultimately about connection. They represent two distinct manifestations of the same excellence, one through the rebellious energy of a stadium-sized rock star, and the other through the comforting, reliable presence of a broadcasting legend. Heavy D and Pete Rock. The relationship between Heavy D and Pete Rock represents one of the most vital mentorships in the history of East Coast hip-hop, proving that the genre's golden era was in many ways a family business. Heavy D, born Dwight Arrington Myers, was the charismatic, overweight lover who brought a polished, danceable, and commercially viable sound to rap without sacrificing lyrical integrity. However, his most enduring contribution to the culture might not have been his own platinum plaques, but his decision to pull his younger first cousin, Peter Phillips, known to the world as Pete Rock, into the professional recording booth. Heavy D was a titan of the late 1980s and early 90s. As the leader of Heavy D and the Boys, he released 5 highly influential albums, including the 1991 masterpiece, Peaceful Journey, which was certified platinum. He was a pioneer in blending New Jack Swing with hip-hop, a sound that dominated the airwaves. Yet Heavy D possessed a visionary's eye for talent. Recognizing the raw musicality in his cousin Pete, he didn't just offer words of encouragement, he gave him a platform. Pete Rock's early production credits appear on Heavy D's projects, serving as a high-stakes apprenticeship that allowed Pete to refine his signature SP1200 sound under the guidance of a seasoned pro. Pete Rock eventually ascended to the status of a producer's producer, widely regarded as one of the greatest to ever touch a sampler. While Heavy D focused on the front-facing charisma of a superstar, Pete Rock became the architect of the jazz rap aesthetic. His production on the 1992 classic They Reminisce Over You, T.R.O.Y. remains a hauntingly beautiful tribute to their fallen friend Trouble T. Roy, and is frequently cited as one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time. Pete's heavy use of horn samples and filtered bass lines created a warm, soulful atmosphere that influenced everyone from Jay Dilla to Kanye West. The bond between the two remained unbreakable until Heavy D's untimely passing in 2011. Pete Rock has consistently credited Dwight as the man who gave him his first break and taught him the nuances of the music industry. Their connection illustrates a perfect synergy. Heavy D provided the commercial bridge and the visionary leadership, while Pete Rock provided the technical innovation and the soulful depth. Together, these cousins from Mount Vernon, New York, didn't just make music. They defined the sonic DNA of an entire generation. Monica and Ludacris. The familial bond between Monica and Ludacris is a testament to the concentrated talent found within the Atlanta music scene, though many fans remain unaware that these two titans of the early 2000s are actually first cousins. While one dominated the airwaves with soulful, church-reared R&B vocals, and the other became the face of Southern rap's mainstream explosion, their shared roots provided a foundation of professionalism and longevity that has kept them relevant for over a quarter century. Monica Denise Arnold was a child prodigy signed to Rowdy Records at the age of 12. Her 1995 debut, Miss Thing, went triple platinum, making her the youngest artist to have consecutive #1 hits on the Billboard R&B charts with Don't Take It Personal and Before You Walk Out of My Life. However, it was her legendary collaboration with Brandy, The Boy Is Mine, that turned her into a global icon. The track spent 13 weeks at #1 and earned Monica a Grammy Award, cementing her status as a powerhouse vocalist. So, known for her hood chic persona and unwavering authenticity, Monica has sold over 25 million albums worldwide, navigating the industry with a resilience that few can match. Parallel to her rise was her cousin Christopher Ludacris Bridges, Before he was a household name, Ludacris was a radio DJ in Atlanta known as Chris Lava Lova. He used that platform to hone his comedic timing and lyrical dexterity, eventually bursting onto the scene with his 2000 major label debut, Back for the First Time. Ludacris redefined the music video era with his larger-than-life visuals and unmatched charisma, securing 3 Grammy Awards and selling over 24 million records. His transition from hip-hop to Hollywood was equally seamless. As a core member of the Fast and Furious franchise, a film series that has grossed over $7 billion globally, he proved that his star power was not confined to a microphone. Despite their individual gargantuan successes, Monica and Ludacris have always maintained a grounded family dynamic. They have frequently been spotted supporting one another at industry events, and Monica has often shared throwbacks of the two before the fame. Their connection represents more than just a shared aunt or uncle. It symbolizes the Dirty South's transition from a regional underdog to the global epicenter of popular culture. Together, they are the queen and king of their respective lanes, proving that the Bridges-Arnold family tree produces nothing but multi-platinum legends. Saweetie and MC Hammer. The familial link between Saweetie and MC Hammer represents a fascinating bridge between the high-octane showmanship of the 1990s and the viral brand-heavy landscape of modern hip-hop. While many fans recognize Saweetie as a contemporary it girl, few realize that her inclination for chart-topping hooks and flamboyant aesthetics is a direct inheritance from her uncle Stanley Kirk Burrell, internationally known as MC Hammer. This connection highlights a multi-generational legacy of Bay Area excellence, proving that the ability to turn a song into a global movement is a family trait. MC Hammer was the undisputed king of commercial hip-hop during the early 1990s. His 1990 album, Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, became the first hip-hop album to be certified diamond by the RIAA, selling over 10 million copies in the United States alone. With his signature Hammer Pants, lightning-fast dance moves, and the ubiquitous hit You Can't Touch This, he didn't just top charts, he became a global cultural phenomenon. Hammer won 3 Grammy Awards and blazed a trail for hip-hop artists to become corporate pitchmen long before it was the industry standard. His legacy is built on the philosophy of entertainment first, a mantra that clearly resonated with his niece. Enter Saweetie-born Diamante Cueva Valentine Harper, who burst onto the scene in 2018 with the double-platinum single Icy Girl. Much like her uncle, Saweetie understands the power of the total package. She doesn't just release music, she builds an ecosystem around her Icy brand, which includes high-profile collaborations with major corporations like McDonald's and Maxi Cosmetics. Her 2021 hit Best Friend with Doja Cat earned her 2 Grammy nominations and solidified her status as a streaming juggernaut with over 200 million views on YouTube. Her uncle's influence is most visible in her visual storytelling and her hustle heart, a work ethic that has seen her transition from a college student to a multimillionaire entrepreneur. The dynamic between Saweetie and MC Hammer is one of mutual admiration. Hammer has frequently taken to social media to support his niece, often referring to her as a boss and praising her business acumen. For Saweetie, having an uncle who has navigated the highest peaks and lowest valleys of fame provides a unique mentorship. Their relationship symbolizes the evolution of the Bay Area's musical influence, moving from the legendary Hammer Time era to the modern Icy era. Together, they prove that while the sound of hip-hop may change, the blueprint for stardom remains a family business. Casey and JoJo and Fantasia. The vocal lineage connecting Casey and JoJo to Fantasia Barrino represents a concentrated explosion of raw, church-bred soul that has defined the emotional landscape of R&B for decades. This is not a family of subtle singers. They are a dynasty of vocal powerhouses who treat every note like a spiritual conviction. While the Haley brothers dominated the 1990s as the premier balladeers of a generation, their first cousin Fantasia carried that same raspy, high-octane passion into the new millennium, proving that their shared DNA is practically synonymous with vocal royalty. Cedric K. C.I. Haley and Joel JoJo Haley first rose to prominence as the soulful core of the group Jodeci, the bad boys of R&B. Their gritty gospel-infused delivery helped Jodeci sell over 10 million albums and redefine the genre by blending hip-hop aesthetics with traditional soul. However, as a duo, Casey and JoJo reached a level of universal acclaim that few can match. Their 1997 masterpiece, All My Life, became a global anthem, spending 3 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and securing a spot as one of the most popular wedding songs of all time. Their album Love Always went 4 times platinum, showcasing a brotherly harmony that was as tight as it was emotionally devastating. The family's musical torch was passed to their cousin Fantasia Barrino, who became a national sensation after winning the 3rd season of American Idol in 2004. Much like her cousins, Fantasia's voice is an instrument of pure feeling, characterized by a gravelly soulfulness that commands attention. Her debut single, I Believe, debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making her the first artist in history to achieve this with a debut track. Since then, Fantasia has earned a Grammy Award, sold millions of records, and received critical acclaim on Broadway for her role in The Color Purple. Her resilience in the face of personal struggle echoed in her music mirrors the raw honesty found in the Haley brothers' greatest hits. The bond between these cousins is rooted in their North Carolina upbringing and their foundations in the Pentecostal church. This shared background is the secret sauce behind their ability to connect with audiences on a visceral level. Whether it is KCI's soaring ad-libs or Fantasia's soul-stirring growls, the family's signature sound is unmistakable. They represent a legacy where music is not just a career, but a divine calling. Together, KCI, JoJo, and Fantasia stand as a testament to a family tree that doesn't just produce singers, it produces legends who sing from the very depths of the soul. Lyrica Anderson, Megan Good, and Lamaya Good. The familial connection between Lyrica Anderson, Megan Good, and Lamia Good showcases a versatile trifecta of talent that spans the spectrum of Hollywood acting, R&B performance, and elite songwriting. While Megan Good has long been a household name on the silver screen, the realization that she and her sister Lamaya are first cousins with music industry heavyweight Lyrica Anderson highlights a family tree rooted in artistic longevity. This trio represents the triple threat dynamic blending visual storytelling, vocal performance, and the behind-the-scenes mastery required to sustain a decades-long career in the limelight. Megan Good is undoubtedly the most visible member of this talented clan. Starting her career as a child actor, she delivered a breakout performance in the 1997 film Oh Eve's Bayou, which earned her critical acclaim and a dedicated fan base. Over the years, she has starred in massive box office hits like Deliver Us from Eva, Think Like a Man, and the superhero blockbuster Shazam! Fury of the Gods. With a career spanning over 30 years and a filmography that has grossed hundreds of millions of dollars, Megan has become a symbol of resilience and timeless beauty in Hollywood, consistently breaking barriers for Black actresses in leading roles. Her sister Lamaya Good initially pursued the musical path, serving as a member of the early 2000s R&B group ISIS. The group gained significant traction with their debut album, The Way We Do, and their single Day and Night became a staple on music video countdowns. Though she later transitioned into acting and entrepreneurship, her contribution to the girl group era remains a nostalgic highlight for our R&B fans. Lamaya often works alongside Megan, appearing in various television projects and reality shows, showcasing a sibling bond that is as professional as it is personal. The musical bridge to the family is their cousin Lyrica Anderson. While many recognize her from her high-drama stints on Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood, Lyrica's true pedigree is found in her songwriting credits. She is a prolific pen for some of the biggest names in the industry, having written tracks for Jennifer Lopez, Demi Lovato, Chris Brown, and Missy Elliott. Her own albums such as Adia and Bad Hair Day display a sophisticated R&B sensibility that mirrors the grit and glamour of her Hollywood cousins. Together, these women prove that whether it is on a movie set, a concert stage, or in a recording studio, the Anderson Good bloodline is engineered for the spotlight. Yara Shahidi and Nas. The familial intersection between Yara Shahidi and Nas represents a fascinating fusion of Gen Z activism and golden-era hip-hop intellect. In a world where celebrity connections often feel manufactured, the bond between the star of Blackish and the poet laureate of Queensbridge is authentic and deeply rooted in a shared Iranian-African heritage. As first cousins, they embody two distinct but equally powerful forms of storytelling, one through the nuanced lens of modern television and social justice, and the other through the gritty, rhythmic complexity of the urban narrative. Nas-born Nasir bin Oludara Jones is widely regarded as one of the greatest lyricists in the history of the genre. His 1994 debut, Illmatic, is frequently cited by critics and scholars as the perfect hip-hop album, a 10-track masterpiece that changed the trajectory of the art form with its intricate internal rhymes and vivid street imagery. Over a career spanning 3 decades, Nas has released 17 studio albums, earned 16 Grammy nominations, and finally secured his first Grammy win in 2021 for King's Disease. His influence extends far beyond the microphone. He is a venture capitalist and a cultural historian whose work has been archived in the Library of Congress, proving that his street poetry has attained the status of American literature. On the other side of this powerhouse family tree is Yara Shahidi, multi-hyphenate star who represents the future of Hollywood. Yara rose to fame as Zoe Johnson on the Emmy-winning sitcom Blackish, a role so impactful it earned her a dedicated spin-off, Grownish. However, Yara's legacy is defined as much by her intellect as her acting. A Harvard University graduate, she has used her platform to launch initiatives like 18x18, aimed at increasing youth voter turnout. Her ability to navigate high-fashion runways, Ivy League classrooms, and political forums mirrors the intellectual depth found in her cousin's music. The connection between the two is celebrated openly. Yara has often referred to Nas as her big cousin, and Nas has publicly expressed his pride in her academic and professional milestones. Their relationship symbolizes a bridge between generations of Black excellence. While Nas provided the soundtrack for a generation fighting for visibility in the 90s, Yara provides the voice for a generation demanding systemic change in the 2020s. Together, they prove that the Shahidi Jones bloodline is a formidable force, blending the rhythmic wisdom of the past with the visionary leadership of the future. Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. The creative and familial alliance between Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar represents the most significant passing of the torch in contemporary hip-hop. While the industry often speculates about mentorships, the bond between these two is cemented by blood. They are first cousins who have transformed their private family connection into a public musical revolution. This partnership isn't just about sharing a lineage, it's about a shared sonic philosophy that prioritizes innovation, unpredictability, and the preservation of the West Coast's lyrical dominance. Kendrick Lamar born. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth is a figure who transcends the boundaries of music. Often hailed as the voice of a generation, Kendrick's impact was solidified with his 2012 major label debut, Good Kid, Made City, and the subsequent masterpiece, To Pimp a Butterfly. He made history in 2018 as the first non-classical or jazz artist to win the Pulitzer Prize for Music for his album, Damn. With 17 Grammy Awards and a reputation for dense Pulitzer-level storytelling, Kendrick has become the benchmark for artistic excellence. However, after a prolonged hiatus following the Black Panther soundtrack, it was his collaboration with his younger cousin that signaled his thunderous return to the spotlight. Baby Keem, born Hakeem Jamal Carter Jr., emerged as a formidable force in his own right long before the world fully grasped his connection to Kendrick. His 2019 breakout hit, Orange Soda, became a viral sensation, showcasing a playful, eccentric flow that felt entirely fresh. Keem's debut studio album, The Melodic Blue, released in 2021, was a masterclass in modern rap production, blending melodic sensibilities with aggressive energy. His style is more chaotic and experimental than Kendrick's structured narratives, yet the shared DNA is evident in their mutual refusal to follow industry trends. The defining moment for the duo arrived with the 2021 single Family Ties. The track served as a dual announcement. It established Baby Keem as a superstar and marked the official comeback of Kendrick Lamar. The song won the Grammy for Best Baby Performance and featured the iconic cover art of the two as children bridging their shared past in Las Vegas and Compton with their high fashion present. Through their creative collective PG-Lang, the cousins are not just making hits, they are building a sanctuary for independent thinking. Together, Kendrick and Keem prove that while talent can be cultivated, the kind of genius that reshapes a genre is often a family trait. The entertainment world often feels like a vast sea of strangers, but as we've uncovered, the roots of stardom are deeply intertwined. From the lyrical mastery of Nas and Yara Shahidi to the West Coast dominance of Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem, these 18 icons prove that Black excellence is a multi-generational inheritance. Whether it's the vocal power of the Norwood Brothers clan or the barrier-breaking legacy of the Roker Kravitz family talent, clearly isn't a coincidence, it's a family business. But here at Black Excellence Legends, we want to know which of these connections shocked you the most. Is talent truly in the DNA, or is it the environment that breeds such greatness? Drop your thoughts below.